Okay. What's going on, everybody? My name is Mangg. Welcome back to Hanging with Mangg. Episode 388. Today we're playing a little Elden Ring. Of course. We're just going to start a fresh game to cut down on as many potential spoilers as possible. I don't want to play on my normal save. So let's just load up an astrologer and name him Ast and give him a golden seed. And away we go. So yeah, Elden Ring is very good. It's very good. I've recorded a number of videos at this point. At least 10, I don't know the exact count. Quite a few videos. And I'm not far. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to tell. I haven't beaten, like, the first big major boss yet. So, I don't know. It's hard to tell. But, yeah, really enjoying it so far. It's very good. And so, yeah, you can expect much Elden Ring in the future. Yeah, so that's what's going on this channel mostly, is just Elden Ring. We have a bit of a dilemma right now, because I have 3 LPs going on. We've got Elden Ring, Fallout, Cataclysm, and I believe, like, this Friday or something is Project Triangle Strategy. So it's gonna get a little hectic. You can expect in the near future just a lot of 2 uploads per day. Well, that was simple. Yeah, I mean, it's just gonna be a lot of uploads just to get it all done, because the Fallout 1 LP is longer than I thought. The Iron Chef run for Cataclysm was really quite a few videos, like 12 videos. But if I just upload 2 videos every day this week, we should be a little clear by Friday. And then we can focus on just Elden Ring and Project Triangle Strategy for a while. That is the plan. Interspersed in that will be a new series that I started recording and uploading this week. Just out of the blue. And that's Mangg Plays the Best Games of All Time. Which, if you didn't want to click on that first one for Oregon Trail, essentially there's just a list on Wikipedia, like, list of video games considered the best. And basically they've just taken... they've looked at a whole bunch of different, like, best of lists by various websites and magazines and journalists and things like that. And, you know, best whatever games of all time. And any game that appeared on more than 6 lists was put on this Wikipedia list. So it's like an aggregate of really these games have to have something going on with them to be on that many lists. And so the video series is me starting with the first one, Oregon Trail, and then going down the list and playing pretty much all of them. Pretty much any that I'm not, like, intimately familiar with already or have done Let's Plays of already. So, there won't be a video on, like, Final Fantasy VI, even though it's on the list. Because I already consider it to be one of the best games of all time, so I don't have to evaluate it. But yeah, the list is basically just me playing the game, and then just kind of talking about it, and, like, talking about whether or not it is one of the best games of all time, and what exactly that means. So far, I've recorded 4 episodes for it, and, yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's been a really interesting thing to just talk about and look at, especially with these older games that I really have never evaluated in any sense. So, I hope people enjoy that. Those are just going to be sprinkled around whenever. They're not really going to take up a slot as far as like a daily upload, so they'll just be an extra video. But, oh my god, that's weak. Oh, I do have a sword, okay. So yeah, that's that. On Wednesday for Variety Stream, we did Cataclysm. As I said, we probably would. And I had fun with it. And that's the end of that. This coming Wednesday, we will not play Cataclysm. So don't fret. I don't know what we'll play this Wednesday. Something will grab my eye, or one that I maybe wanted to look at was Sifu. Sifu's like that martial arts game where every time you die, you like get older. And you get a little weaker. So it's kind of like a roguelite in a sense. And that's, I read like a Kotaku review, I think it was, about the game. And they definitely made it seem like a roguelite. They had a lot of issues with it. They did not think it was that well, like a very cohesive design, like different mechanics and stuff like that. They were pretty critical of it, but I've heard other people say some very good things about it. So it might be worth checking out. I did like the concept, and I do like martial arts, so could be worth looking into. Yesterday we did Lost Ark on Two Brothers Play. It's titled Part 1, and then there's Part 1.5 because our computer shut off in the middle of it. But yeah, we titled it Part 1 because we thought there would be multiple parts. We thought we were going to kind of play through the whole campaign. As it turns out, neither of us really have interest in doing that. Because I think we kind of both thought it would feel a bit like playing through Diablo 3 together. But the progression and just like everything in that game is so wonky. Like, it's so not Diablo in any way. Loot, like, does not matter whatsoever. Nothing really matters whatsoever. You just steamroll through everything, and they just throw all these skills at you. You start with, like, at least 6 skills. And every one of your skills just obliterates enemies, you know? And it's just like, I don't even know. I mean, and then we were trying to co-op stuff, but what's the point when one person can obliterate everything? Like, two people, it's just unnecessary.
Oh, yeah.
The only time that we really had fun was when we actually came up to the dungeons. Like, the group dungeons. Which we could do just the two of us. And the second one we did on hard mode, which really wasn't even that hard. It was actually kind of cool. So I think possibly at the end game, when you're max level, it's cool, but getting to that's going to be a chore. And not really something that you'd want to watch on a stream. It's just there are better choices. So, yeah, we both decided probably not the best bet for us. Instead, we're going to go back to Roller Coaster Tycoon next week. What's up, David? Because we really enjoyed playing Roller Coaster Tycoon together, multiplayer, and I think viewers enjoyed it, so we'll give that another week. And then I think we probably want to play Anno together, because as far as I can tell, it's like the only kind of city builder game with multiplayer built in. But yeah, I was very hyped for Lost Ark originally, but I think that's just because I didn't know much about it, and I just watched gameplay footage, and it looked awesome. So, c'est la vie. Hey, Durden.
I can also that you're not then wine. I am caught.
So yeah, a bummer, but it's fine.
Goodbye.
Plenty of games out there that we both will enjoy, and viewers will probably enjoy. Yeah, more Roller Coaster Tycoon. Can't go wrong. Over on the Exploring series, released a video on rodent SCPs. Surprisingly popular. I thought that video would be in the dumps, because, you know, on paper, just looking at the words, rodent SCPs, doesn't sound too thrilling. But, yeah. People seem to like that one. That's all good. Then, of course, I released part 2 of Chrono Trigger. And my God. Like, literally, I think the most work I've ever put into a video. Of just sheer hours. Honk that fucking owl. Man, oh man. And I had set that deadline for myself last week, and so I was really committed. And I'll tell you how committed I was. Elden Ring came out Thursday. And then I had to do game night. I had to do Magic Night with some friends, which was fun. And then some other guys came online for 7 Days to Die, so I had to play with them. And so then finally around like 11 o'clock, I got to start Elden Ring. So I got to record and play for an hour, which just like, you know, it was just like a tease. Like, yeah, okay, now I know how awesome this is going to be. I can't wait to play more. So then at that point, I forced myself to close out of the game and go work on the Chrono Trigger video for 3 hours. Until I went to bed. I finished the video Thursday night and then went straight to bed. And that was just like, ugh. And then Friday, I got up, got to record and play for another hour, and then I had to close it back down to work on the SCP video for like the next 4 hours. So yeah, finally finishing and uploading that SCP video. Like, okay, finally, the time is here. So yesterday I played just pretty much the entire day. Yeah, Chrono Trigger video, man. It's really... If the video game stuff does continue and kind of pick up in views, yeah, I'm very seriously going to consider hiring an editor. Because for one, I just don't think that it requires that much creativity or anything to edit those. It's just like, what am I talking about? Take the footage from the game that relates to what I'm talking about, cut it down, and put it in the video. I mean, it's just like, it's very monotonous. It just does not interest me at all. But it's so time consuming to do, because when I'm summarizing, I mean, I flip through dialogue like that because I'm just summarizing dialogue, and I'll cut out things, and then suddenly, boom, just you rapid fire through a whole big conversation, but you have to cut all that, and splice it in, and it's just like, I'm not even that slow of an editor, but damn, man, it took hours and hours. And I don't know. I mean, maybe hiring someone else to edit, they'll make it even better. I mean, maybe they'll actually improve the video, because I'm not great at editing.
They sir, but you, I can play turning to the foot.
So yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how the views go. Originally, I was planning to do Final Fantasy Tactics next for the story.
Shall I let my hand share
story of Final Fantasy Tactics?
Your thoughts.
I'm kind of rethinking that right now. I definitely want to do Tactics at some point. But with Project Triangle Strategy coming up, which is basically Final Fantasy Tactics, and I'm going to be playing all the way through that and recording it. That's a lot of tactical RPGs on my plate all at once. So instead, I'm leaning towards Secret of Evermore, which is really one of my favorite SNES games. Like, probably top 5. And I just don't think it gets enough attention. It's really just kind of a wild game. From Square Soft. They were just a completely Japanese company releasing Japanese games. But then they're like, all right, let's have an American team come in, and they're going to make us a game. And so it was an all-American team. And they put together Secret of Evermore. Why do I prefer Evermore over Mana? Mainly the setting. Mainly the setting, the aesthetics, the themes, the characters. It's so unique. Mana is just like, yeah, it's fantasy. There's goblins, and there's dragons, and there's an evil empire. Like, it's very cliche. Swords and sorcery. Whereas Secret of Evermore, I mean, there's guns, there's alchemy, there's like, you know, the sort of Roman theme and themes of like technology, sort of taking over fantasy. It's and then the main character where he's just constantly spouting off like cheesy lines from B horror movies and stuff like that. I mean, it's just so unique. I don't know if there's much like Secret of Evermore out there. Because the gameplay between the two is pretty damn similar. But yeah, the soundtrack, Jeremy fucking Soule. Jeremy fucking Soule! I mean, you can't... It's too good. It's too good. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Secret of Evermore, and so if I can do my part to kind of proselytize about that game, I'd be pretty happy to. Secret of Man is a fine game, and I like it, but no, I would definitely pick Evermore. Apparently, Jeremy Soule is the one that suggested the word Evermore, because they didn't have like a title, so they had just brought the whole team together, and they're like, "We need a title for this game." You think as a kid you had to think about not wanting modern or sci-fi elements in RPGs? I mean, I guess I can see that, but it's so common, you know. I mean, look up till now, 2022, and there's so many fantasy RPGs that have been made over the years and over the years and over the years. And there have been, like, sci-fi kind of RPGs as well. I mean, you got Mass Effect and things like that, but there's just something about Secret of Evermore and the way it kind of blends the two. It kind of reminds me of Arcanum, I guess. And you get a dog. It's just you and your fucking dog. Saving the world. Shit. There you go. Well, that was pretty cool. Oh, that was pretty cool. You threw a fit over Final Fantasy VIII? Well, we all did, because it was a shitty game. So yeah, right now I'm leaning towards Secret of Evermore, but I've not started to record anything, so it's all subject to change. I mean, there's plenty of games that I'd like to cover. And I don't want to just do, like, classic RPGs. I mean, I'd like to do some other stuff. But I don't know. I don't know. What more modern game would anyone like to see covered in that format of just, like, going through the story? I feel like more modern games are probably covered a lot by other channels. Like if I did the story of Mass Effect. That's probably been covered, right? Pretty well. But I don't know how many channels have done Secret of Evermore. Oh, Mass Effect. There you go. Yeah. That would honestly be probably the only way I'd actually play through the Mass Effect games again, is if I was doing it for an exploring video. But it brings up a good question of like, what are all the canon choices, if there is such a thing? I feel like BioWare must have like a canon document where they're like, yeah, I think it, well, they might have released numbers on like the most popular choices. I think I've seen that before. So that might be how I would do it. Is just like, what are the most common popular choices throughout the games? And just go with that. But yeah, I guess that's part of the fun of writing these videos. For the most part, you can save about everyone to consider that canon. Yeah, that's true. I guess having the most people alive possible is probably the way to go. I'm pretty sure in the first one you can only save one of the two, like Ashley or what the fuck is the other guy's name? Caden or something like that. But yeah, you probably can keep most people alive until the end. I don't know. That's a big project. Because I feel like if I did Mass Effect 1, I'd have to immediately do 2 and then 3. So it would be like this whole big process. But yeah, I mean, I really wouldn't mind getting into just doing video game videos. Okay. Smash this dude. Yeah, there you go. I think that's the only instance. There's dialogue buried in the code for saving both of them, but they didn't use it. Oh, there's probably a mod then, but that's not canon. Would I do Andromeda as well? That's an interesting one. I own Andromeda. I played it for like an hour. And then I realized, oh yeah, I don't really like these games that much. But yeah, I wonder if Andromeda is just kind of misunderstood. I know Lobos did a playthrough of it. Because he's a big Mass Effect fan. And I think he enjoyed it. So maybe. I don't know. You're talking pretty far in the future. Because that takes place, like, after 3, I think. So, I don't... It's like a question of... If I did all 3 Mass Effects, would I just be kind of, like, done with it and want to just move on and not want to talk about Mass Effect ever again? I don't know. Once you... Yeah, I mean... Again, if it picks up and it becomes like a thing for the channel that I do of just video games, then yeah, they really, sky's the limit. Bonk. So we'll see. We'll see. But this week I worked on, for SCP-5657. Nikki Knows. Very, very interesting and good SCP. It's about this woman who's an empath. So she can just sense people's emotions and stuff. By touch. Which by itself is not too crazy, but she's being stalked. She's being hunted by these entities that can mimic humans and pretend to be humans. And the Foundation does not like that. They don't want anyone out there pretending to be human. So they need to keep protecting this woman because she's the only way that they have of detecting these things, which are perfectly capable of perfectly pretending to be human. Yeah, very good SCP, very good ending. I liked it all around. I don't know how popular it's going to be again. The title's not that evocative, and it just sounds like, I don't know, one of those kind of drama SCPs, but you never know. Rodent SCPs surprised me. So that's that. What else? What else? What else? Well, I ordered my samurai armor. It's on the way. It's gonna be sweet. Went with sort of like a kind of black and blue looking one. That's it's got a lot of fun. It's got a lot of interesting little details all around it. You can get samurai armor that's very plain, like very kind of austere. Is that the word? There's not a lot of details in it, just a lot of flat. But I wanted details. I want people to just kind of inspect it and be like, yeah, okay, look at this. Oh, look at this. This is cool, and look at this. So, yeah, it'll be sweet. My basement is currently being finished.
I don't have... It's scary. I want on nothing. Can you
Right now we're sort of discussing, like, what chairs to buy and how many chairs we can fit in there and things like that. It's like, how much do I want to spend on chairs, knowing that, you know, this theater might not get used that much.
Upon a demigod, if the raid and the elf as an ally, I pray to face them. Upon a demigod, if the
Yeah.
as an ally, pray to face them.
Yes. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to cheap out on chairs, but at the same time, there's cooler things to spend my money on. So I don't know. Because I'm not gonna ever like go down on my own and just sit there and watch a movie. I don't have the attention span for such thing. Um, I'm willing to do so with like friends and stuff like that, and I'll go to a movie theater to watch a movie, but just sitting on my own at home, I don't know. I feel like there's always better uses of my time than sitting down and watching a movie. There's always games to play, man. But yeah, we'll do something. Some sort of decision will come into play. We did another magic night on Thursday. Look at that damage, though. That is sweet. Fuck. Don't tread on me. Did another magic night Thursday. One of my friends brought in a cube that he had put together. And we only played 2 matches because the first one took so long. You know, we play with Predator rules usually, where once one person dies, the game's over. So that can lead to a long, kind of drawn-out things where no one wants to sort of take a step forward because they'll either die the following turn or they'll just open up an opportunity for someone else to win. So yeah, the first match just took a long, long time. The second one went pretty quick, but I'm pleased to say I won both matches. That makes you feel real good. Makes you feel like a man. Not only did you draft a decent deck, but then you played that deck decently well. I mean, feels good. So now the current plan, because Mert is against all Magic games and RPGs, the plan is to switch off every week between Magic and board games. But the 3 of us that are really into Magic, during board game weeks, we're going to have an extra night just for Magic. Magic Monday. So that's pretty good. Yeah, you told me about Persona 5, 150 hours. That's a long time for an RPG. That is a long-ass time. But how much of that is side content, and how much of that is main story? Oh, you love to see it. Fuck! I forgot about that thing. Asshole. Yeah. That's kind of it, really. Not a whole lot else to say. Question is more like, how much is actual gameplay and how much is a mediocre anime? Oh, God. Yeah, see, no wonder I didn't get into Persona games. That sounds horrible to me. Yeah. That does not sound too fun. I'd enjoy the turn-based gameplay, but hate the amount of long, drawn-out cutscenes. Yeah. And it's just like... There's so many other good turn-based games that I don't have to deal with long, drawn-out cutscenes. Oh, actually, let me see. Is one of the Persona games on this list of best video games ever made? Persona 4 is. On the PS2. I don't know. It's a question of, like... I assume Persona 4 is pretty massive as well. It's like, is it even worth me doing a single video on it to try and examine whether it's the best game? I think for something like that, I'd have to play it on my own for a while, and then start recording a video where I can talk about it. That would be probably the only way it would really make sense. And there's a bunch of big RPGs on here. Persona 4, Fallout 3, Dragon Age Origin, Mass Effect 2, Skyrim's on here, of course. Destiny's on here. Oh boy. Oblivion's also on there. Knights of the Old Republic. I mean, we're gonna, yeah, I mean, right now I'm just covering, like, asteroids and stuff. I mean, it's stuff that I can just fire up fresh and just talk about it, but, yeah, some of these later games are gonna get very big and lengthy. And it would just kind of be unfair for me to play the first 30 minutes and be like, I don't know if this is the best game ever made. So, yeah, this series might require a bit more involvement than it does right now, but I'm not opposed to that. I guess the argument would be that you can only really say or judge a game once you've beaten it. But I don't know. Do I really have to play all the way through MechWarrior 2 31st Century Combat in order to decide whether it's a good game or not? I don't know. Oh, Duke Nukem 3D's on this list. I can't wait for that. Yeah, I can't wait to play that. That'll be fun. Took less time than 5, it's still long. Don't think it's better than 5, but I'd say there's more of a connection to the characters. Gameplay in 5 is certainly better. Oh. Yeah, 5 is not on this list, but this list hasn't been updated at all since 2017. And I feel like there's probably been some better... There's been some good games since 2017. But I'm sure I've played practically all of them. 90% of them. Yeah, here, like, if you look at IGN's latest version of it, their latest best 100 games of all time, you've got Titanfall 2 on here, Monster Hunter World, the Resident Evil 2 remake, Mortal Kombat 11, Persona 5 Royal. XCOM 2. Let me scroll down. Okay. They have number one, the best video game of all time, Breath of the Wild. Now, it's always going to be subjective, but I don't know. Number 2 is Super Mario World. It's so, like, different. And then number 3 is Portal 2. So, just wildly different. I don't know. Maybe this isn't meant to be taken numerically. Maybe it's just 100 good games. But I don't know. It seems... Because number 100 is Borderlands 2. No one is saying Borderlands 2 is the number 1 best game of all time. No person on the planet can say that. But then 98 is Final Fantasy 7. 97, Assassin's Creed 4. How are you going to say Assassin's Creed 4 is better than Final Fantasy 7? Now, I like both those games. Mortal Kombat 11 is inferior to Mortal Kombat 10 in almost every way. But yeah, see, this is why I like the Wikipedia list as an aggregate. Because for one, it doesn't rank them. It just goes by year. And two, you know, it's taken from many different lists. That's why I'm pretty sure Mortal Kombat 11 is not on this list. Or Borderlands 2, for that matter. Yeah. Playing through Dark Souls 3 for the first time just to beat the Scythe run. Got to the Nameless King. Shit is hard. Dude, the Nameless King, yeah. I think, yeah, even right now, if you threw me in front of the Nameless King, I would not be able to beat it. I think the only way I ever ended up really being able to beat him was just having the biggest shield in the game and just going full tank build. And then you just sit there and let him do his combo, and you take it with the shield, and then you hit him a few times, and then repeat. That's how I recall beating him, but yeah, it's tough. Games are tough. Yeah, we're gonna get to some good games with those videos, though. Some of them are just gonna be very interesting to try out. Like the first Civilization from 1991. That's gonna be interesting. The original Sim City, I've never played that. Elite. That's going to be really... Elite from 1984. I mean, I've played a bunch of Elite Dangerous, but the original... Wild. Day of the Tentacle. Dune 2, 1992. That'll be interesting. Myst. I've never played Myst. Sega Rally Championship, Sensible World of Soccer, Star Wars TIE Fighter, the original XCOM. That'll be a fun video. MechWarrior 2. I owned that as a kid. I've not played that since I was probably like 8. So that's going to be a fucking nostalgia trip. Nights into Dreams. I've heard a lot about that over the years. I've never played it because it was a Sega game. The original Tomb Raider, Quake, and Quake 2 are both on here. Those will be fun. I don't think I've ever played Quake 2. Ultima Online. I don't even know if I can... I don't know if that's even possible. Because EverQuest is also on this list. Maybe. I mean, maybe there's private servers I can, like, try and get into. Or shit, maybe Ultima Online's still going. I don't know. I don't know. Can you still play Ultima Online? It It's still got a website. Apparently, they released an expansion in 2015. So that's interesting. Yeah, you can play Ultima Online for free. Holy shit. That'll be a very interesting video. If you need advice for any fighting games on the list, that's your area of expertise. Well, let's look at what fighting games are on this list. Street Fighter 2, of course. Mortal Kombat, of course. Mortal Kombat 2 as well. I don't know if any other Street Fighter made the list other than 2. Tekken 3. Soul Calibur, the original, from the arcade. Super Smash Bros. Melee. Soul Calibur 2. That might be it. Yeah, that seems like it. So only one Street Fighter game made the... No, wait a minute. Street Fighter 4, there it is. Okay. Street Fighter 4 also made the list. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what sort of advice I would need. The whole point is just kind of throw myself into these games and just see how it goes. Cthulhu Dark Corners of the World was good gameplay. Yeah, that's a great game. Dark Corners of the Earth. That might be interesting for an Exploring Series video. The story of Cthulhu Dark Corners of the Earth. Quake 2 is kind of lame compared to the first because they went full sci-fi and got rid of the Lovecraftian elements. Yeah, I've heard of that. I think Ahoy went over that, or... No, maybe that was an LGR video. I don't remember. I just mentioned 1,000 of hours of gameplay. From what? The fighting games? Panzer Dragoon Saga? That'll be cool. Homeworld? Shenmue? Animal Crossing? Oh yeah. We're gonna fire up the original Animal Crossing on GameCube. We will determine if it's one of the best games of all time. Go for that time limit, 20 hours? Well, I'm not beating any of these games. It's just one video for each game. Yeah, there's a lot of cool games on this list, though. God, Civilization has to be, like, one of the most successful games on this list. You got Civilization 1, 2, and 4. They're all on this list. Maybe Final Fantasy beats that. Let me check. Got Final Fantasy 6, Tactics, 7, 10. So, okay, there's 4 Final Fantasies on the list. There's 3 Elder Scrolls games. Oh, Zelda might beat it. Hold on. Except I don't agree with most of these. Okay, so you got Zelda 1, Link to the Past, Link's Awakening even made the list, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Wind Waker, Breath of the Wild. Okay, Zelda takes it. But I don't really agree with that. But it's subjective, so enough people like these games. You're definitely not going to see videos from most of those Zelda games. I'll probably do one on... I'll probably do one on the original, just to talk about it a bunch. And then I'll probably do one on Breath of the Wild, just because it is the last game on the list. Did I play Sinking City? Yeah. I did a Let's Play of it, I think. I don't think I was a big fan. I wasn't a big fan of either of the two new Cthulhu Mythos games that came out. Alright, anyway, we can sit here and talk about this list all day. It is very fascinating. So you're going to see videos from that series for the next long while. I have no idea how long this will take. I have no idea when I'm going to be uploading them. As I said, I already have 4 recorded, but I'm not just going to dump them out as soon as I record them. Just piecemeal for the next several years. You can look forward to it. But alright, so yeah, this week, this channel, plenty of Elden Ring. We're going to really try and cram in Fallout and the Iron Chef run of Cataclysm before Project Triangle Strategy comes out. Which is the 4th. Yep, March 4th, so that's Friday. My hope, much like Metroid, is that I'm going to buy it on Switch, but I'll just emulate it on PC in a higher resolution. I think that just works out. How goes Elden Ring so far? It is utterly fantastic. It definitely has potential to be the best Soulsborne game. I'm still not that far enough to really say one way or another. Yeah, I would say setting and theme-wise, Bloodborne still is going to be extremely hard to beat. But the gameplay innovations in Elden Ring have been fantastic while still maintaining, like, Dark Souls gameplay. Very fun, but still very difficult. So, it is not a game for the masses, despite what some news sites try to profess. So yeah. Elden Ring, Fallout, Cataclysm, then Project Triangle Strategy. Wednesday will be a variety stream of something, maybe Sifu, we'll see. 2 Brothers Play next Saturday with some more Roller Coaster Tycoon. Over on the Exploring series, we've got Nikki Knows. It's a very good SCP. I recommend the video. It's one I'm a big fan of. And that's pretty much it. This week, it looks like I'm going to be working on SCP-4242 Foundations. Labyrinths underneath places of worship that lead to different time periods where they find, of course, alternate foundations. Good stuff. But alright. Thank you all for joining me, chatting with me. I always appreciate it. My name is Mangg. This has been Hanging with Mangg. I'll see you fine folks next week.